A Day on the Path is my story of grief, exhaustion, fear, and the spiritual tools that helped me survive when life became darker than I ever imagined. In the weeks after my mother died, I was dazed, confused, lost. I'd spent 15 months living in a state of extreme stress, working full time as a consultant, producing high volume content, and then spending every break, every evening, and every late night caring for my mom. I was lucky to be working from home. It was the end of the pandemic, and remote work made it possible to open the door for nurses, check on her between meetings, and watch over her while I was still doing my job. My sister came for part of each month and took the day shift, but the weight of everything still sat on my shoulders. Though I was exhausted, I pushed through. During those months, I was also dealing with tenants who abandoned my rental house in the dead of winter. It was minus 22 degrees Celsius. They left the door wide open, damage everywhere. I drove out, secured the house, and went straight back to my mom. After my mother's funeral, I moved into the basement of that rental property. It was 7 hours from my home. It had no cable, no phone line, and no support. I hotspotted my cell phone and renovated the house alone. In the loneliness and the grief, I searched the web for anything that could help me understand what I was feeling. That's when I found Suzanne Giesemann. I froze. I thought, could this be real? Is there an afterlife? My brain said no. My intuition said yes. And deep down, I knew that my intuition was right. In the last moments of my mom's life, her room was filled with energy, thick, undeniable energy. My son felt it too, and when she was taking her final breaths, her eyes were vacant. Her essence was gone. I believe her soul had already left. So when Suzanne spoke about the afterlife, something in me recognized it. I was skeptical, but I kept watching. One episode every few days, squeezed in between renovation work and grief. When I finished the house and returned home, I showed my son one of her videos. He said, Mom, that's pretty woo woo, but if you think there's merit, explore it. That gave me permission to keep going. The world is rational, ego driven, and skeptical. I worried that I was crazy. I stayed silent. I still do, except with my son. I needed to earn money, and I couldn't risk being judged. So this was the primary reason that I stayed quiet. So why am I sharing this now? Because it's been 4 years since my mother passed, and in those years, everything kept collapsing. I've had legal issues with my mom's estate, a lawsuit with my sister. I've had unemployment, financial strain, difficult workplace relationships, a rental property draining my savings, neighbors threatening me, bullying me, lunging at me in the streets. My father died only months before my mother was diagnosed with cancer. Two of my dogs also passed away. Doctors delaying my mother's treatment for 8 months. My son being held at gunpoint in Europe. My work contracts ending early. The job market drying up. Being 58 and invisible to employers, it was relentless. It still is. I asked myself, did I do something in a past life to deserve this? It was too much for any human to process at once. I couldn't trust anyone, not my neighborhood, not my workplace, not my family, not even the medical system. A neighbor, one of the few kind ones, said most young people would have committed suicide in your situation. You've got staying power. I felt the energy drain out of my body. I knew I was exhausted. My elderly neighbor simply vocalized what I feared deep inside. About a year ago, during meditation, I heard, share your experience with the world so that they can learn the soul journey. So I started to blog, then Instagram, and now YouTube. I'm not sure how this content will land. My purpose is to share my experience, even the ugly parts, and show the tools, practices, and methods that help me survive. I'm not giving advice. I'm showing you how I adapted the spiritual tools and made them work for me. Recently, I had a major blowout with my neighbor. It ended up in court. It was traumatic. My nervous system is still recovering. I'm leaning even harder into esoteric methods. Over the coming weeks, I'm going to share these experiences. I might jump around. This isn't linear storytelling, it's more like hopscotch healing. The point isn't the timeline, the point is the lesson. If any of this resonates with you, I invite you to follow my channel and visit my website at pathtospirit.com. This is my path to spirit, and I hope you'll find yours too.